And welcome everyone to our first Fit Mom for Life leadership uh, time. And give me one moment here. There we go. Could some of you guys just let me know if you can hear me and you guys like the music? Thank you. If you can hear me and see the PowerPoint right now, just a couple people let me know, and just to make sure we are recording, should be good. All right, looks like we're all good. Wonderful. Well, again, if you guys just joined us, welcome. Emily's right here. Let's have Emily say hi.
Hey everyone, I'm super excited to join you tonight. Glad you're here.
Yes, and Emily's going to share a little bit more about herself, but her and I are kind of spearheading this. It's been 9 months in the process to get this program off the ground, much longer than I would have liked to, but we're really proud with the end result, and we're really excited tonight to kind of have this be the first step for it. We had almost 900 people register for it, so we're really looking forward to having a lot of people not only on this live, but also then listening to the replay and choosing to see if this is the right program for you. It may not be, but we hope that you find it to be the one that you really want to look into and to be part of. And we're really confident it's going to really transform a lot of lives and really be a catalyst to really move forward with this movement. Which, if you guys don't know what it is yet, we're going to explain it to you. So. The title is "Are you ready to be the catalyst for the Fit Moms for Life movement?" And let's get started here. Okay, so over the next few minutes, I want to kind of give you a briefing of what we're going to be talking about. Make sure you guys can still see my screen, I believe. Okay, so we're going to talk about who we are a little bit, share a little bit of our backgrounds. If you're not sure, we want to share about what the goal with the Fit Moms for Life movement is, but more particular, what the goal is with being a leader. And we're really going to be putting a lot of effort and resources into empowering you to be a leader. And then we're going to share about how we strategically plan to reach our goal of 14,000 local support groups. And we're going to share a little bit more later about why we believe that's a powerful number. And then we're going to talk about what exactly is the 6-week challenge and how you can get involved as a leader in the 6-week challenge, how you can get paid. We've talked about you have the ability to make some money off this. At the very least, you'll get the program for free, but you should definitely be able to make a good amount of money off this too. And we're going to share with you a little bit about how to do that. And then what are some of the benefits? We've already talked about the monetary, but there's some, definitely some great intrinsic benefits that you get from being a leader. And we're going to go over those also. And then we're going to give you the opportunity towards the end tonight to get started, to sign up, to commit to it, and to start that journey, which we believe is going to be a really exciting journey. Do you have anything to say, Emily, in this intro?
No, I think that covers it in terms of the outline, but again, just really excited. I can't express how much I'm excited to kick this off and thrilled that y'all are here because this is a program that can absolutely transform your life and transform others. And, there's nothing better than that, really. So look forward to working with y'all.
So we're going to start with a question. What are you most excited about regarding possibly being a Fit Moms for Life leader? Now, I know we have some people who have done a lot of our programs in the past, and you've really followed it. You believe in it so much, and so you're already ready to get started. And there's many of you who maybe have just found this over the past few weeks or months, and you're not really sure. But if you could share with us what you're most excited about the possibility. I'm just going to read some of them off. We're kind of curious to hear what your motivation is and how we can best help you. So I'm just going to start to read some of these off. Trish, and I may not say everyone's name because lack of time, but motivating others, helping friends get fit, gaining confidence for myself and other moms, to transform my own life and help to motivate others. That's Cindy. Working with a team to help each other keep motivated. That's what we're really excited about. Helping people transform their lives the way you've helped me transform mine. Thank you, Maggie. It's great to hear. I'm looking forward to helping others. Vicky says, I'm excited to get external motivation and getting started in my fitness journey. Wonderful. And she brings up a good point that you don't have to be in perfect physical condition to start your own group. Really, you could be 400 pounds, never exercised before, but you have a deep desire to want to be a better person. You'd be a perfect candidate. Sarah says, growing a Fit Mom for Life community so that we can support each other in my area. Alana says, helping some friends and family and have a great time doing it. We're all about having fun here as well. Emily says, empowering moms to have the best body they can have. Jackie says, encouraging and supporting others. I've lost 68 pounds and in the same year, and now encouraging moms to do the same. Congratulations, Jackie. That's awesome. Marcy says, share a system that works, no tricks, no gimmicks. Motivate others, especially family and myself. Work out with friends in a small community to help each other, support one another in a healthy fit program. Chance to inspire moms who can then inspire kids to lead happy and healthy lives. Working with friends and family toward a common goal, transforming ourselves into the best we can be. Changing lives, team environment. We'll go for a couple more here. They're continually pouring. I can't read them all, but leading a healthy lifestyle and encouraging others to do the same, to help others experience success that I have and meet new people, and empowering other moms. Wonderful. There's tons of others, but I'm not going to have time to read them all. But yeah, those are all really great things, and I think they're all good motives to have.
Yeah, I agree. That last one was a good one to end on, empowering other moms.
For sure. Okay, moving on. So we're just going to take a couple minutes. This isn't about us, so we're going to breeze through this. But a couple pictures here of who myself is. My name is Dustin Maher, and I love that picture on the left there. That's a picture hiking with my mom, and I'm really proud of her. That was a hike we did in Colorado, and it's a 14er. If you don't know what 14er is, it's any mountain over 14,000 feet. There's about 54 of them in Colorado, and she's 64 years old, and she doesn't do a lot of intense exercise, but she's in pretty good shape. And I was like literally dragging her up because I was impatient. I lack patience on hikes, so that was a pretty fun experience. And she made it all the way to the top, so I'm super proud of her. And then that middle picture, we're all in pink with my pink tutu. That is a group here in Madison called Mamatone, and we did a mud run. It's like a 5K mud run, and we were called the Hot Dirty Mamas. So we had a lot of fun with that. So I'm going to turn this over now to Emily so she can share a little bit more about herself.
Sure. My name's Emily Green, and I live here in Madison. I am 42 years old and a mother of two young boys. That redhead there is my youngest, Ben. He's 4, and my next son is Corey. He's 5. And I have been working with Dustin as a client actually for about a year and a half now. And that picture on the bottom is me. I'm a competitive sailboat racer actually, and one of the reasons, I had 2 reasons for joining Dustin's program really, and one was to figure out how to get my body back after having 2 kids and figure out how to work exercise into what had become a really busy life, and the other was to train and gain enough strength that I could do that. And I'm proud to say that I'm the 3rd female skipper in 75 years to win a trophy in this major regatta we had last year. So it works. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm now applying. I have a background in community organizing and working with volunteer teams to accomplish a number of different things. So I'm applying that expertise now to working with Dustin to make this program a reality.
Yeah, and Emily has been awesome. Like she said, she started off as a client, like many of the Fit Mom for Life, people do, and they either get my DVDs or join my programs in Madison. And through that process of being transformed, they can't help but want to help others. And Emily has a great background in building up leadership and supporting people in grassroots style movements. And that's what I look at this as. This isn't, we're not a big corporation. We don't have all this red tape to go through. We are just wanting to provide some tools to help moms connect with others and to get in better shape and to really, all be in it together. And we've got big plans, big rallies across the country, just a lot of cool things that we have in the works, but it starts with these, and it starts in the home. And, any way that you guys can help or have ideas, brainstorm things you want to do, we're just basically kind of giving you free reign in some regard of what you want to do with this to really make it your own and just make it all part of the mission and the movement, which we're going to explain here in a moment what that is. So let's stop talking about ourselves and go to our goal. So one of my goals, or one of our goals, it's not my goal, I gotta not say that. One of our goals is to have 14,000 community groups started. And the other goal with that is to have 1 million active moms in our community over the next few years. And I have a background. My dad is a former pastor. And so I spent a lot of time in like home groups, like Wednesday night home groups or whatever. And I just saw the power of getting together on a regular basis on when people really got together, shared life together, ate together, was active together. We did fun, activities. It just really made life more enjoyable and happy, and really having a group of people you can count on. And so, kind of growing up with that was powerful. And then as I, got into the real world and started my fitness business, I just saw such a need for more community. And I really wish my mom would have had a better, supportive community around her for being active and fit when I was being raised. And some of you heard my story. I'm the oldest of four kids, and so this whole thing of starting, I was gonna have 10,000 community groups. That was my goal. But then I decided to do some research, and there's just, it seems like there's a McDonald's on every corner, it seems like. And so I researched it, and there's about 14,000 McDonald's in just, I think it's just America. I don't think it's North America. And 14,000, of course, is growing every day, and many, many more worldwide. But just kind of using that symbol of McDonald's, we can see where they all are around the country, and kind of visualize, wow, if we could actually have a group near every McDonald's, or as many of them, how powerful could that be? Like when a mom is sad, lonely, or depressed, and she needs someone to reach out to, she'll have a group there that she can find, online, and be able to contact, the leader of that group and ask if she can join. And to us, that's pretty exciting. So that's kind of the mission, and we have a little tagline there, because getting healthy should be as accessible to moms as fast food is to our society. Emily, do you have anything to talk about with this?
Well, I would just add that I think, one of the things that at least was true for me when I became a mom is, I mean, obviously your whole life changes, but I found personally the support of other moms. I mean, just everything from sharing, what do you do when your child is doing this, to how do you get through the day sometimes, and just having that support network with a group of like-minded moms who also care equally about figuring out how to get time for themselves to live a healthy life, set a good example for their kids, like that. Those connections for me, when I found Dustin's program and joined a group of moms here in Madison, was just, were so powerful, and I think can be really life-changing. And that's what part of what motivated me to really, again, want to just share this with as many other women as possible, because I think if you don't have that, everything is just that much harder. So
Right. Yeah, and Emily brings a great perspective of things, as a mom, so she can, say things and recommend things that I might maybe don't know. And again, with her background of supporting leaders in small communities to do great things, she's a phenomenal asset to the team. So Emily's going to take this one over and share just a little bit about, how are we going to do this? Because when you have a big goal like this, you've got to have some sort of I don't know, place, like systems in place, I guess you could say, to make it happen. And we're really developing, building those systems. And that's what we've been doing for the last 9 months, and we're going to continue to do as things get larger and larger.
yeah, I mean, I guess I'll just start by saying I think that you all and the women that take the first jump to become leaders of these programs are the key, and it is not hard. I mean, as Dustin said, we have spent a bunch of time, and we have developed sort of all the tools and the information, everything that you will need to help others basically transform their lives. So we are making it as easy as possible for you to follow a step-by-step approach in running this program. And we'll also be providing you a lot of support along the way, just in terms of access to us and the rest of our team. Because I found that really the key to any of these sorts of efforts working, you need a passionate leader who is willing to just try things and to make a go of it. We will tell you how. You just need to try, and people will follow your passion. I think if you're willing to share your story of what's motivating you, this introducing our mission, or this broader vision to your community and asking them to join, is the key to making this happen. And I think this can become very viral and can grow very quickly if enough people are willing to do that. And so um, and that's really, it gets to the heart of our program, which is about building communities of moms to support each other, and creating that sort of, it focuses as much on the emotional and the spiritual side and the relations between people, because that's what's going to support you in the long term, as it does on sort of how to eat right and how to exercise. So I think you really are the keys. And of course, we want to give you the support you need to do it, but also give you the rewards and incentives that will make it worth your while, because we understand that we're asking you to take on extra work. And one of the exciting things for me, I think, is thinking about, in half a year or something, bringing together all the leaders of Fit Mom for Life community groups and actually meeting in person, and having a lot of events and opportunities like that for you to connect at a broader level.
Yeah, I mean, the quicker we can grow things and build these communities up, I mean, let's just say North Carolina. We have one or two from North Carolina right now. Say we get 4, 5, 6, 7 different groups in North Carolina, all doing it. You guys can get together kind of on your own, but then maybe we'll hold a rally. I'll fly out there, or Emily will, and we'll do a few hour workout, and then we'll have a talk, and we'll do a community outreach or something. But there's just so many things that we want to do and really build upon, like we said, the movement, the vision, and everyone's looking to be plugged into something. I mean, you're looking for that. I'm looking for it. I do it. I've joined other groups because I really believe in the mission, and I'm really excited about it because we're all individuals, but when we get together and are going after the same thing, it's just so powerful, and you get so energized, and you feel more fulfilled. And that's really what we're looking for here. And you, as a leader, hopefully you're wanting to get plugged in and be part of something bigger yourself. But the people that you're going to be bringing in to your groups, you want to try to instill that into them and get them really excited and passionate. And this is not just like another exercise, because when you tell someone about it, you might be like, oh, it's an exercise program, we've got an eating plan, it's DVDs, and they're like, oh, it sounds like P90X, or I've done that before. It sounds like I could do that at the Y, or whatever. And it's not what it is. Yes, we have to give you the tools of what to eat and the exercises to do, but that's really just the place to start. And that's really where we can really start to create transformation in someone's life, because as many of you know who have gone through our programs in the past, the more you change, the more you maybe lose weight, get stronger, have more energy, the more other areas of your life improve, whether it's a relationship with your spouse, or maybe you ask for a job promotion, or you quit a job, or you get out of a bad relationship, whatever it may be. It's the catalyst for it. And I've said this before on my blog, but I would not be still probably doing fitness and nutrition if it was just to get people into smaller sizes. I enjoy that. It's cool to see, but to me, that's a very low level goal and fulfillment. But it's when I receive all these messages from people of kind of how their lives have changed in other areas that really gets me fired up, and allows me and gives me the energy to keep pushing on. All right, we're going to move on to the next one. So Emily's again is going to take this over and really talk about a little bit more practically what is the 6-week challenge all about, and maybe why do we create a 6-week challenge?
Yeah.
And why not something else?
Yeah, so we started with the 6-week challenge because this is just super doable. I mean, it's 6 weeks of your life. It's, I think anybody can take on something for that amount of time, but it's also enough time that the things that we are introducing, we're hoping become habits for you and can really provide the foundation. If you continue something for at least 21 days, you can start to develop a habit. So it can provide the foundation for a lifelong plan. And so basically what we've put together is this 6-week program. Each week covers a different topic. So on mindset and goal setting, there are a couple of weeks on nutrition and sort of how to eat the foods that will really fuel your body in a healthy way. What kind of exercises are going to transform your body most quickly and most effectively, particularly given that many of you who are moms, don't have a lot of time to do this stuff. And most importantly, how to develop a community that's really going to support you long term. So it's a very comprehensive plan, and the model is that you as leaders will host a meeting. You'll help recruit participants and host a meeting of the group once a week for 6 weeks to go through this program. And again, we're giving you sort of all the materials you need to sort of both on the topics, including sort of discussion questions to help lead a conversation with your group. You'll get together, you'll work out, and then you'll get some information from us on a video format on the topic of that week. and then you'll have some conversation with your group, and we're going to give you a lot of conversation starters, but we're hoping actually that you can have a lot of fun and, really get some organic conversation going that figures out how to support each other, as best as possible. And what's unique again is that I think we are really trying to focus on the emotional side of this, sort of how do you support each other, how do you create a network that can hold each other accountable, can have fun, whether you're doing it ideally locally, in a group. But even if you're just participating online, we're going to have an online format as well, where people can support each other and ask questions and, get feedback. And so that is the primary focus of this program and what it makes it really, really different and unique from some of the other programs that are out there, because I don't know of anything like that. And so, again, part of what you'll get, and you'll see more of this later, but everything from the very specific leaders guide that walks you through step by step how to hold these meetings, how to run them, the things to ask. Participants will get a similar guide, and you'll get the participant guide as well. It gives you all the content you need. DVDs provide the workouts, so there's a lot of sort of background material. But again, I think all that is really secondary to this idea of the support network, the mutual accountability, and the framework that we're creating for these relationships to grow.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And I've looked at all different, businesses out there that cater to helping people, either lose weight or get in shape or change their lives. And something like Weight Watchers, for example. I mean, I think personally they're very flawed in their approach to a lot of the eating stuff, but people get great success on it, and it's all because I believe most of it's because they have to show up once a week and weigh themselves in front of somebody, and that's enough motivation and accountability. And I mean, we're providing them people so much more accountability and support in a more positive, reinforcing way than like something like a Weight Watchers would. And I'm not bashing Weight Watchers; they've done an incredible job, and I'd love to partner with them in the future, but we are just really focusing on, like we said, that support and community, which is far more important than what kind of squats you do, or whether you eat grass-fed beef or regular beef or something. So we're going to get into details now of a little more of what the program consists of. But before we do that, I want to share a couple stories tonight of people who have taken on the role of being a Fit Mom for Life leader. And they did it before, we had a 6-week challenge or anything. Some of I have a monthly Fit Mom for Life DVD program, so 12-month program. And so this is Diana. You may have seen her, heard of her before. And she's in a really small town called Neillsville, Wisconsin, which is in literally almost the middle of nowhere, super small. And she, over the course of like 4 or 5 months, she lost I think it was like 42 pounds or something on the DVDs, transformed her life. And she just didn't have a very good support network there. She's again small town. She didn't know very many people. Before starting the program, she I think was not very happy. She was just kind of stuck in life. Her relationship with her husband was all right, but things really started to change as she got in better shape, started to feel better, have more energy, and so she wanted to spread that word, and she took it all upon herself. It was not me helping her out. She created flyers, she wrote letters, she did all the stuff that we're going to be providing you to help kind of recruit the community. And what she's done is just incredible. And she's got between 15 and 20 women that meet on a regular basis. I think it's twice a week to do the DVDs and the workouts. And they've been doing this for about 2 years now. And so I just asked Diana to share a couple words here. And so she said, initially when I started a Fit Mom for Life group, it was all about accountability to exercise and to meet new people in my community. Now being a Fit Mom leader means having a reason/purpose in my community. The friendships and opportunities it has presented for me and others is priceless. Healthy living is see it, be it, and live it. Making life better for others. This is so cool because she had no idea what we were going to talk about tonight on this webinar. I just told her that I'd love for her to share kind of what it's meant to her to be a leader. And I really, like the part there. She says, now being a Fit Mom for Life leader means having a reason/purpose in my community. I don't know, anything you want to add to that, Emily?
Just that, so I met Diana when she came here for the screening of Dustin's documentary, the Fit Moms for Life documentary. And it was so powerful, I think, to see and hear directly from her the transformation and just how much this has meant to her personally and to the women who have joined her group really, and all of whom have sort of gained in many areas of their lives. I mean, as Dustin said, it's not about weight loss; it's about feeling better, having more energy, having more confidence, having more relationships, and that with a really deep meaning. And so it was very moving to meet
Yeah.
her.
Yeah, and the woman on the left here, that's one of the women that works out with Diana, and she just like she got really emotional when she was sharing with me what that group has meant, because they're in such a small community that they really don't have any other gym options available to them. And Diana was all there was. I know a lot of you guys are in bigger cities, and that's not really an issue for you, but one person making a massive difference. And so Diana, it's great to see. And one of the things you guys will all get as a leader when you sign up for the leadership program is you'll get my documentary. It'll be broken up in different sections, but you'll get the entire thing. So I look forward to sharing that with you. So let's go into how you can participate. I'll start this off here. So you should be on this webinar because you're interested in becoming a leader. We're not selling right now, or we're not promoting signing up as a participant. That'll come in a few weeks. But if you're wanting to be a leader, but in general, other people can join a group, and we're going to have ways for people who maybe you don't even know yet, but live near you. They're going to be able to see a map, and they'll be able to find maybe just your name and email. Not exactly where you live. We're not going to put your address on there or anything, but they'll be able to see the general area, what city you're in, and they'll be able to reach out to you, and you can sign them up too if you want to, and you'll get paid for that. You can participate alone, not as a leader though. Leaders have to start their own group up, but people can do this on their own, and then they'll be part of our online community. So they really won't be alone, but they'll be alone at home. Then when you sign up, you'll receive access to our online community members only website. So we're still developing the members only website portion, but we're really going to put a lot of emphasis on our Facebook private group. So it's completely hidden. So right after you sign up tonight, you should get an email immediately right after. If you don't, check your spam, and it's going to give you a link. And we've already created the group, and we're already ready to go. And it's going to be a place where leaders only can go in, and it's a place where you can share successes, challenges. You can be sharing what you're doing to recruit people. We'll provide resources there. That's for myself, Emily, and the rest of our team will be to help you out. So you'll have that. You'll be receiving all these materials in the mail, and we're going to show you what you're going to get. And you'll be getting that in a few weeks. Our goal is to around August 31st, around there, to kind of get everything sent out. We're still finalizing a few pieces. But the plan itself, the 6-week challenge is going to start September 16th. That's the week of September 16th. You can kind of start it whenever then. In the next few weeks, we're just going to be really empowering you, encouraging you on getting started and kind of learning more about what it means to be a leader. And we'll teach you how to invite your friends. We'll give you whether it's like Facebook, sample Facebook posts or pictures, or web pages to go to, resources, sample emails that you can send out that you can tweak. We're just going to give you a lot of stuff that you can take. And some of you may want to create your own sort of thing and then share it with the group and let us know what's working. And that's what we're really looking for too. Remember, this is grassroots style. So anything that you guys have to offer, we're willing, and we love to see it and bounce ideas off. Anything, Emily, on this page?
Yeah, I would just add that, ultimately we're putting the focus on getting you all the materials in hard copy first, but all the materials that you get hard copy will end up on that members only website. And that's going to be, sort of just another convenient way to access them if you want. And that will be another place that we'll be able to add materials over time. So yeah, I think that's the main thing. But
so the role of the leader, Emily's going to take this section over, and we're going to get to a little bit more of a nitty-gritty details. We're not going to go through all the details tonight. If you want some more specific questions, you can certainly ask us here at the end. But we just kind of want to give you a little bit more of a higher overview of what your role will look like and kind of the time commitment that's needed.
Yeah. So there's really these four main components, or could fall into these four buckets. But I mean, the first thing obviously is, as the leader, your first responsibility really is just trying to spread the word to your network, invite your friends, invite family to join you, tell people what you're doing, tell your story a little bit, and invite them to join you. And that, again, as having worked with a lot of people and a lot of leaders in recruiting people to join various efforts, that is the single most powerful thing you can do is really to ask. And it sounds simple, but a lot of people will maybe fail to make a direct enough ask. And I think if you simply share what you're doing and actually ask in person or verbally, you will be surprised at the response you get. So in any case, that's the first piece. And as Dustin said, for every participant you recruit, you'll get part of those participant fees coming back to you. And
we'll talk about the fees in a second and what your payout is, but we just want to kind of
yeah,
keep going with this first.
And then we are hoping that you'll be interested in launching the program with sort of a house party style gathering. It could be at your house, or it could be at a local restaurant, a school gym, really anywhere that you're comfortable. And that's where we have developed some materials. We have a video that from Dustin and I that really helps introduce the program to people, so you don't have to feel like you have to explain every detail, but it'll help provide some inspiration and motivation for people to join. You can have some discussion, a meet and greet, maybe a snack cluck where everybody brings a snack to share. And then you'll have an affiliate link that hopefully you'll be asking people to sign up at that event. And then once your 6-week challenge starts, you'll be, as I said, meeting once a week for 6 weeks. And it can be between a 60 to a 90-minute group meeting where, again, you work out in person, provided you have the space to do that. But we are giving you a couple of workouts that are body weight only, so you don't need any materials. You can just...
Yeah, and it's all DVD based.
Yes.
So you don't have to lead the group. You just got to put the DVD in, and all 60 or 90 minutes, again, depending on if you want to include the workout in there, which if you have the space, we highly encourage you to do so. Everything is broken down for you. We've got 10-minute segments of myself or Emily or Tracy, who's our nutritionist on board. 10-minute segments where we're teaching a different topic each month. And then you can watch about a 10-minute inspirational video, which is part of our documentary that we've split up into about 7 different segments. So as a leader, you don't have to figure out how to fill a 60 to 90 minutes. Everything's there for you, and all you got to do is make sure it runs smoothly. And we've got sample questions to ask, and there's a lot of discussion type stuff too.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, really, your main task for these group meetings is just to keep the meeting running. We give you a minute-by-minute breakdown of sort of what to do when, and all you have to do is just, have it end on time, really. And and then follow up with your group members, make sure they've got what they need. You can, if someone's not stop showing up, maybe give them a call, see what's going on. But, that is the main thing. We're sort of giving you, really providing everything you need. So it takes the work off. Really what you're doing is recruiting your friends to participate and finding a place to hold these group meetings, and organizing those meetings, 6 meetings, and keeping them on track. And that's really, that's about it.
And we've been getting questions, people asking how big do we want these groups, or what's the minimum number if you're afraid you can't, find people. I mean, I guess technically, if you have one person underneath you, you're a leader to that person. But ideally, we like to see 4 people at a minimum, 10 to 12 probably towards the max. Now, if you're getting 15, it's a good problem to have, 15 or 20, and you probably can still work with it. But I think that sweet spot's between 8 and 12 people, just to really be able to get to know each person at a pretty deep level. Or if you're getting 15, 20, 25, 30, you could maybe think about breaking it up into 2 groups. Or if you have the space for it, do it in one group, but then just kind of break off into groups of 10 to 12 for the discussion, so that at least people really get to know that group of people. And we've also been asked what's next after these 6 weeks? Do we just want you guys to quit exercising and stuff? And of course, the answer is no to that. And we're not going to really talk about tonight, all the details about what we have planned after that. But we're definitely want to keep you going with that group. If you continue to meet. Of course, I've got a lot of other DVD programs out there that you can get, or do something else too. But the biggest thing is we really want you as a leader to empower and inspire your participants to go off and start their own group. And you can still still keep your group going, but then allow each of them. So say this is really how we're going to make it go viral. Say you have 10 people. Maybe you're able to get 5 of those people to start their own groups, and each of those have 5 people in their groups. It doesn't take long, a couple 6-week cycles of that, and things really get exciting and grow quickly. And remember, the more people you can get on board with this, the more support you're going to have, the more cool things we'll be able to do as communities together, or as a nation or as a world, and we'll be able to bring in great speakers, and just there's so many things that we want to do. But it starts with this first beta group, and that's why we're so excited to have you here. Anything else with the role of the leader you can think of?
No, I think, yeah,
Covered it?
that's
Cool. All right, let's go on here. We're well over halfway. We've got about 10 or 15 minutes more here, and then we'll open up for questions. And I talked about Diana before, and I just want to show you a couple of pictures from her group. So they have free access to the school gym, and here's just kind of a collage of pictures. And that top one there, the top left, you can see some of her group members, and they're doing the workout. And I got a chance to go there and see them and train them a little bit. And it was just really awesome to see. And again, Diana didn't have any, she did the DVD programs, so she had nothing she was really following. She was just doing her own thing. She's now become a certified trainer because of her own transformation, which has been pretty cool to see. So how do you get paid? Basically, what's going to happen in about a week or so, when we open it up to allow you to start promoting this to your friends, family, whoever else, you're going to be able to sign up as what's called an affiliate. Basically, it just means that you receive a commission. And we're going to be giving you guys a generous, I think it's generous, $35 per sale. And right now, these prices could change, but right now, what we're going to do for the intro offer is $99 will be the program price for participants. And then I'll talk about the price for leaders here in a moment. So $99, and very few people should have issues with that. And it's a 6-week all comprehensive program. They're going to get a lot of materials and resources. And then if they have issues with it from a price standpoint, you can just tell them that you can start your own group after you've done this, and you just have to get 3 people, and you're going to be able to basically have your leadership kit paid for. And this is not a multi-level marketing thing. You're not like building a team of 20 people underneath you, and then they're trying to build a team. You're going to get paid all this team fee. It's nothing like that. We're just trying to give you a little incentive to and thank you for doing this. And you can put that towards whatever other fitness things. Maybe it's a new pair of shoes, maybe it's healthier food for the family, whatever it is. But we're really excited to be able to provide you with some financial incentive too. And so you can start as many groups as you want to. I know this already. I received from one woman. She said she got 40 people that want to do it together, like a Bible study group. So you can have that as a large group, or you can break up into a couple of groups. But there's no limit to the number of groups you start, and all you need is to invest one time in the leadership kit, which we're going to talk about here in a moment. So let me go back to this. So basically, as an affiliate, you're going to just log into this. I'm going to give you a website. I'm going to email you this link. You just put your name, email, password in there, and it's going to give you an affiliate link, just a long URL, and that thing is coded so that when you send that to people, it'll be redirected to the sales page on my website, and then when they buy through that, that's how you get paid. So very simple, and once you do it once, you'll easily get it figured out. All right. So, what are some of the benefits as a leader? We've talked about some of this before, but I'm going to let Emily kind of maybe share a few more things about it, and I'm going to share another story about a few other Fit Mom for Life leaders.
Yeah, I think one of the most powerful things, I mean, they're sort of the obvious, right? You're going to be able to transform your own life and sort of do that in a group of others, so you can sort of support each other through this journey. But really, I think what is profound about this is being able to be in a position to help others transform their lives and empower others. And I think there is sort of nothing more powerful or personally transformative that you can do. And again, I've seen many people that I've worked with over time just completely change their lives, having gone through the experience of helping others. And I think really when you've got an unbelievable opportunity here to share something that can be so incredibly powerful in somebody's life with other women that you care about, or maybe even that you don't know yet, but that you'll be developing good relationships with. And I think that to me is, the first and foremost primary benefit of doing this, and it's really helping change the world one community at a time in a way, and that's the essence of our vision.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we can kind of read a few of those others. The money, I think for most of you is kind of like an extra little bonus. It's not the main motivation for it. Again, we're going to try to give you a lot more access. I mean, we have dreams. I'm hesitant to put it out there in case it doesn't ever happen, but our dream is to like be able to have like leadership retreats where U.S. Only leaders can come. Maybe we meet at wherever it is, if it's Colorado, and we do a hiking trip, and then in the evenings talk and get to know each other. So many things that we're going to be doing. And you get access to all that as kind of raising your hand as someone who's wanting to be a leader and building confidence. Maybe you sign up for this and you really don't view yourself as a leader right now, and this can kind of push you over the edge to give you a little bit of confidence that you can do this. And with that little confidence, you gain momentum, and that's what really helps build confidence up over time. Is those small little wins, and I think this will be more than a small little win, be a very very little or very big win.
One thing, just nuts and bolts, that we are going to do in the short term is we will be able to offer a number of kind of leaders only webinars and sort of video calls where we can again help bring other leaders together to share techniques and tools of sort of what's working best, what's not, and maybe bring in some folks to speak on those calls to help you develop your own skills as a leader that can really apply to a lot of areas of life beyond this. So
yeah, and of course it's a lot of fun too.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let me go through here what's all included. So the participant, so you can see there on the right hand side, that's what you're going to get as a leader, and then the participants, they'll get the first little bit. So participants guide, this is going to be a hard copy, and it's going to be kind of in a spiral bound, so more like a journal type, and I think it's like 50 or 60 pages. It's thick, and it breaks down all 6 weeks, and each week we have a different topic and theme. There's reading references and materials to my book, which you're also going to receive, and there's places for you to fill out different answers to questions. It's basically like a journal, and then we've got the eating plan. It's a 6-week eating plan with everyday options for food. So you can kind of look at that and go buy it if you want to. If you don't want to go buy it, that's fine too. So you got that, and then workout DVDs. And so the workout DVDs are 6 workouts for this 6-week program, and 2 of those workouts are meant to be done in the big group setting. They're body weight workouts. It's me and my guy friends. We did them together, so we had a lot of fun with that. So hopefully you enjoy that. Hopefully we get some laughs and giggles out of you guys, because we had a lot of fun filming them. You'll get, you already get emails from me, but you'll get some specialized ones, from me. The access to the membership site, which we'll be getting in the future. We don't have an exact timetable yet. We're still building that out. But the Facebook group, like I said, and I mean, I'm part of a couple Facebook groups for different business things and fitness things, and this has really transformed my life. And it sounds cheesy, but the people that are on these groups are just so amazing, and I'm able to build relationships, but also just get a lot of resources from them and a lot of ideas. And so we've done Facebook groups in the past for my my boot camps and stuff, and it's been a huge thing. So I'm super pumped for that. And you're gonna literally, right when you sign up tonight, you're gonna get that link, and you'll accept or ask for the invite, and we'll accept you. Get my book, hard copy book again. Well, it's soft cover, but you're gonna get the actual. It's not an ebook. We're gonna give you guys wristbands, kind of like the Lance Armstrong Live Strong ones, but a lot cooler than that. And wear them proud. And our goal is once we have when we have tens of thousands, hundred of thousands, million moms all wearing them, it's gonna be cool just walking down the street and being able to identify each other and strike up a conversation. We're gonna give you a food magnet with all the healthiest foods on. We're gonna give you tools to transform your life, and it's just so many ways. Okay, so that's kind of what the participants get, and you get as well, of course. And this is the additional stuff you get. So you get the leader's guide. And do you want to share a little bit about the leader's guide, Emily?
Sure. I mean, it goes hand in hand with the participant guide, so it's meant to help you walk through each week of the 6-week challenge. And so again, it's broken down by week, and it has sort of everything you need to run the group meeting for that week, including the minute-by-minute agenda, discussion questions, sort of what to do in what order. And then in addition, it's got some resources on things like how to hold the house party, materials for recruiting participants, finding a location, how to facilitate a meeting. So it's got a lot of sort of more general leadership resources that will help you kind of walk people through this journey.
Yep. And then the leadership resource DVDs, these are awesome. These are the 6 weeks, like I mentioned. There's about a 10-minute segment in each one where I talk about a different topic and have a few guests on as well. And so you're gonna get all of those. You're gonna get my documentary, part of the leadership resources, and each week you'll be playing a section of it. Again, really emotional, inspiring stories of women just like yourself who have achieved incredible results, and that'll really inspire your group and your participants. Anything else in there? I think there's a few other things in there
House
too.
party video.
Yeah, there's house party video that basically you just get the people in the door and you play this video. You share your story, play the video, and it's fun, entertaining, emotional, and it's designed to get people to want to sign up if they haven't signed up already. You'll get webinars from me. We don't have a specific schedule at this point, but we'll get those going. And then access to the private face group site, which again, Fit Mom for Life site, which we're working on. We'll have a leaders section there too. And then access to a leaders network, so kind of all you who are leaders, and one-on-one support. So the plan is to be able to call each of you up here the next month, either myself or one of our team members, and just really see how we can support you. And we're going to be giving you a great deal, a great discount on this program, being in part of the beta group. And the hope and expectation is that you provide us with incredible feedback and things that we can tweak, change, or add to things to make it better. And we're working on a really cool t-shirt, so that'll be coming soon. And then, like I said, we're going to do leader events as things pick up. That'll be later down the road. But really, the ability to help others transform their lives, I think you're going to find is the best gift of all, and the best bonus. So if you add up all the value of that, that's $335 worth of value, but you're definitely not going to pay that much for it. So, but you won't pay 300, 200, or even 150 is kind of where I was planning on pricing out when I was asking a lot of my coaches where I should kind of price this program. You look at P90X, it's around that price point, and they're not giving you, I would say, nearly as much stuff here or nearly as much support. So what we're going to do is you're going to get this entire program, plus the ability, again, to make money from it. So really, it should be free. We have $129 plus shipping and handling. And basically, right now it might change, but we just have a flat rate for shipping and handling, which is going to be like $9.95, I think it is. That's whether you're anywhere in the world doing this or in the States. But like I hinted before, I want to give you guys just a special offer because I know Emily and I know that this is it's going to make or break it. It's dependent on your success and our success together, and so we want to make this a no-brainer for you. So tonight and for the next week or two, but again, we want you to sign up tonight because we're looking for about 50 leaders to join this beta group. And like I said, we had, it was 800, well over 800 people, almost 900 people join this webinar. And so when you sign up, and that's the link you can go to, fitmomsforlife.com/6week-challenge. It's a hidden page. No one can find it unless you type that in right now. And that's the order page. You can scroll down to the bottom of that and you'll see the add to cart button. But enter BETA, B-E-T-A, into the coupon code once you click on the add to cart button. So you click the add to cart, you go to the shopping cart. We're all familiar with shopping carts through Amazon or whatever. And just type in BETA and hit coupon or whatever it is, apply, and it'll take off that $30. And you can sign up and you can get started today. So I want to just kind of recap a little bit. Here's more of a visual of some of the things. We didn't put everything in here. That's not going to be what the t-shirt looks like. That's just kind of a t-shirt filler. It'll be a little bit more of a feminine t-shirt than that. But we've got all the different products. You're going to get a big box of a bunch of stuff in it. And I think you're definitely going to enjoy it. We thought about doing it 100% digital, and maybe down the road we might do that. But right now it's just I get a lot of value out of still opening books up and still reading things. I still like putting DVDs in the DVD player and watching them either on my computer or TV. But we will have the resources too online. So a couple more things as we wrap up before we open up to questions. This is another group that started a couple years ago. I featured them a couple times on my blog, but that's Patty and Kim. So Kim's on the left there. She's got, I think it's 7 kids. It's crazy. And on the right there is Patty, and they're in North Dakota. And Neilsville is out in the middle of nowhere. I think this place, Castleton, is even more in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it is like you drive 5 or 10 miles and you don't really see anything. But Kim wrote, the biggest thing that being a Fit Mom for Life group leader has meant to me is that it has empowered me to be all that I can be. I've developed more confidence in my abilities and the passion to learn all the stuff about fitness and nutrition. I'm continually inspired by Dustin and the members of the group. So again, Kim and Patty a couple years ago took it upon themselves to do this. I didn't tell them to do it, and I've made the trip out there now twice to North Dakota and to see their group. And I think I got a picture here. There's a picture of some of their group out there. We did the workout outside at a park. It was nice out in the summertime, but great group of women. Again, just hearing the stories of how Patty and Kim have transformed their lives is just really amazing. So let me go to this right here. And this is pretty much our last slide. I've got one more slide after this, but don't wait another moment. I'll type in here the chat box. I think you guys can see this. The URL here, fitmomsforlife.com/6-week-challenge. There we go. You should have got that. So if you want a clickable link, and enter beta into the coupon slot to get your discount. And then I like this. I found this on Facebook here. So 3 simple rules in life. If you do not go after what you want, you'll never have it. So if you want a stronger support group in your community, if you want a deeper relationships with whether it's your significant other or with your girlfriends or whatever for better health, you got to go after it. You got to take some action. And you're taking action tonight by joining us on this webinar, and then taking more action tonight by signing up and becoming a leader. If you do not ask, the answer will always be no. I like that. So that's kind of applying to when we, ask you to start recruiting in a couple weeks. Just ask. The worst that they can say is no. You're not trying to sell them jewelry that they may never wear again, which again, nothing wrong with that. I'm not asking you to sell them supplements that they probably don't necessarily need. You're giving them a gift of health, of confidence, of self-esteem, of energy. And those things, really, there's no price tag for. So don't be afraid to ask, tell the world. And, we look forward to seeing, these groups grow. And if you do not want to step forward, you'll always be in the same place. And, the famous Einstein quote is insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. We got to put ourselves in some sort of discomfort. And maybe for some of you, this is discomfort. You have a million things going on, the end of summer, school starting, and you don't know how you could fit this in. But, you're a mom, you're amazing. You've given birth to kids, and you've already done, so many things way harder than this. And we're here to hold your hand, and we're not going to let you fail. And also, we're going to have a community of women who are all leaders that aren't going to let you fail too. So don't be afraid of that. Anything else before we start questions? If you guys have questions, you can now start typing them in, and Emily will maybe share a few things here.
Yeah, I just again, I think you probably heard us from this webinar that not everything in this program is fully cooked, and we did that deliberately because it's really, really important to us that we get your feedback. That we try this out and test it, figure out what works, and so we both really look forward to working with you to make this a success, and also to figure out how we can make it even better before we launch it, full scale. So yep. That's why it is what it is. That's why we also want to give you a break on and some rewards for being part of this beta group. And, we're just really excited to get going.
Yep. So again, that's the website. You're the first to see it. It's not the most prettiest page right now, but we'll keep improving it. fitmomsforlife.com/6-week-challenge. Okay, so we have some questions here that are flying in, and let me go through these. Amanda says, can the group be made up of simply friends and family? Yes, absolutely. Like I said, our goal will probably be we're working on the technology right now to kind of have like a Google map so that we can at least put it out there if you're okay with it, with maybe your first name, maybe your email address. Again, something not too invasive, and then just your zip code. So basically, we know kind of where you're located, and it's gonna be cool to see all these these dots on the map, and then people who hear about the program can see it, and you can make the decision if you want to accept them in the future into the group, or if you just want to keep it kind of a closed group. It's totally up to you.
Yeah, but your friends and family are certainly going to be just a great. That's a great place to start. Absolutely.
Yeah, and well, we'll see. I'll keep answering questions. I got a few things to say. So right on, Dustin, Emily, loving it. This is Andrea. It's a package deal of fitness, health, eating, living, and community. Yes, it's a great way of putting it. Andrea. Amanda says, will we be receiving a certificate or some proof of participating in the webinar? Nope. This is just more of an information webinar than anything else. So you don't need this to like be certified or to be a leader by any means. It's just kind of to educate you. Francie says, so we can have at least 24 hours to think about this and discuss with significant others. Yes, you can. I don't have a hard deadline. I mean, I want you to take action quickly because the longer we wait to take action on anything, the less likely we are to do it. But yeah, it'll be open for probably at least a week to maybe 2 weeks. But again, don't take advantage of that. Sign up ASAP. Jane says, will a beta coupon only be available to a certain number of leaders? Payday is Thursday, and definitely want to be a leader. We're gonna to keep it open for at least 2 weeks, I think. So that beta thing will be available I'll say 2 weeks. Okay. So yeah, so Thursday will be just fine for that. And welcome, Jane. Excited to have you. Michelle says, my family and I eat a paleo diet. Does this hinder the nutrition ideas of this program? So not really. I mean, we're sort of the paleo type belief too. It's certainly not a 100% paleo program, but we give different options. And like I said, you can use the program if you want to. You don't have to. It's there for the taking if you want to use the eating plan. Maybe find some new recipes. We provide a lot of recipes there for you. But if you don't want to use it all, you don't need to. So it's not a big deal. Cindy says, with 500 people on the webinar, will the first 50 people be selected for the first leaders? Great question. So what we're going to be doing, if there are way more than 50, we will probably hire some more staff or get a few more people involved to handle it. I think for the next few days, I'm pretty confident that those 50 spots won't be taken. So definitely take action quickly on it, but that shouldn't be an issue. Katie says, will we get the workouts as soon as we order? I like to do them for a few weeks before the group starts. So you're not going to get them ASAP, but we're going to we'll upload them probably within the next, I would say 1 to 2 weeks, so that you can certainly start practicing them if you want to, if you're scared of looking silly in front of your family or friends. But yeah, we'll get those to you a little bit before. It'll be on video digital format. It won't be in the mail because you'll be getting the whole packet together. Ideas to where to host meetings. I don't have the space for more than 2 people to work out in front of the TV. Yeah, great question.
That is a great question. And, school gyms, church basements, community centers, even libraries sometimes will have larger rooms that you can use for free. And I think, that's something that for the beta groups in particular, we're going to help provide you one-on-one support in terms of finding places as well.
Yeah, and all you guys will be able to brainstorm and help each other out too. It's going to be in the fall time, so it's going to be beautiful out. You could do it at parks, at least for this first time through. You could bring a computer out, laptop out for the workout, or kind of just memorize it, or just write it down.
We are providing you in that leader's guide. Actually, okay. We've written out the workouts, so you'll have that kind of cheat sheet in addition to the DVD.
Wonderful. And each participant will also have the DVDs, so they could have maybe done them before to kind of get a feel for it, before they come to that meeting. What was the cost again for participants? So participants is $99. And right now for leaders, it's also $99, but that'll go up to $129 after this beta group is complete. And again, we're not selling the participant guide or the participant program right now. This is just to get leaders to sign up. Nikki says, what do you recommend if you are not a mom? So this, yeah, so Fit Moms for Life, yes, it has the word mom in there because that's the brand and stuff. But we've had been approached by guys actually to lead this program, and that's fine. We don't see anything wrong with that. So certainly being a woman who's not a mom is absolutely not a problem.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, no, I would second that in a big way. I mean, this is not limited to moms by any stretch. I think
Yeah.
it's just it happens to be moms are often really looking for this kind of program and community. But yeah, please join.
Okay, so Joanne says, I know you said this would be covered in the program materials, but my biggest concern would be to find a place to conduct these meetings. I'm relatively new to the area of Maryland and live in a small town, population 90, so I'm not sure what locations would be even available to me. Yeah, so again, I mean, my belief is if there's a will, there's a way, and there's so many different ways to do it. And if you just keep, knocking on people's doors and stuff. I mean, for example, my boot camps, I've got 10 fitness locations in the Madison area, and I've just found places now. Granted, I've rented them, but this is basically a nonprofit type thing. I mean, yes, we're making a little bit of money to sustain the business, but it's not really like a business per se for you. So a lot of times schools or libraries are totally willing to let people in a lot easier for free. So again, there's got to be a few places in there, and even though you got a small town of 900 to do it in, or worst case scenario, you could do it at a park. There's usually shelter areas underneath the parks that you can sit at picnic tables to do the discussion part. But yeah, don't let that stop you. That's a minor detail. Do the participants have to be mom? Candace asks. Nope. We already kind of covered that. And then Maggie says, will the participants need weights for the workouts? Great question. So yes, we designed the workouts kind of like the Fit Moms for Life DVDs if you have them before. Just all you need is like one set of dumbbells. And really, I usually recommend, 12 to 15 to 20 pound dumbbells. But if they just have one set of 8 to 10s, something to just get them moving, and a stability ball. That's all they really need to get started.
And those are for the at-home workouts.
Yep.
So basically, we are asking the participants in these groups to work out, 2 or 3 days a week in addition to those weekly meetings. But for the group meetings, as Dustin said earlier, those are body weight only. So you don't need any equipment at all for the workouts you do as a group.
Exactly. Yeah, we try to make it as simple as possible. And throughout the week, we didn't really explain this too much, but there's, like we said, different reading assignments, different things to think about, different journaling activities. And you're gonna take that journal with you and bring it to your weekly meeting, and that's kind of how some of the discussion kind of topics are going to come up. Okay, so Shannon says, do our friends pay the $129 when they sign up under my group? No, so they're going to be a participant, and so they're going to pay the $99. And again, we don't have a link set up for that. You can't sell at this point, but no, they're going to pay the $99. So great question, Shannon. Alicia says, I'm very interested, but the reality is I don't even have $150 to pay all my bills right now, and I know the moms in my community don't have this kind of money to do it either. So let's see here. So like I said, it's $99, and so it's not $150. But I don't have an exact answer for you on that. I'm always of the belief that if you want something bad enough, you can find ways, whether that's asking family members or selling things. We do a lot of those. Just finding creative ways, whether it's a bake sale or something. There's a lot of different ways to make $99 if you really want to do it.
Another just thought on that, because I realize that can be a challenge, but if there are enough women in your community, you could always try sort of talking about this to folks, seeing if there's enough interest. If you can recruit enough participants, again, all you need is 3, and your program here is free. And you could always do that verbal recruitment before actually signing up. I mean, that would be an option.
Absolutely. So do the meetings have to be in person, or could you lead online? Interesting question. I actually haven't really talked. I don't know if Emily ever really talked about that. But with the technology now, we got Google Hangouts, which you can have 10 people now, all video, webcam together, which is pretty powerful. If you guys have not done Google Hangouts, it's amazing. It's free, so yeah, I don't see why not. You can certainly do it. You have to be maybe a little bit more creative, but that's a great suggestion right there that we hadn't really thought of, and so we can develop kind of some systems in place, some ideas, and help you along, and you can kind of share what's working for you too to have that as another option, because you definitely probably have a lot of people that don't live near you that want to take part in it. So yeah, great idea, Candace. I will have non-moms that will want to join. How do you handle that? Just explain to them that the program name and the brand name is Fit Moms for Life, but this is a program that is universal, and it's a program that guys need just as much, just as badly. I need this program just as much as anybody else. This is the stuff that I try to live out every day. The questions that we have during the discussion groups are questions that guys need just as much as women. So yeah, just explain that. Sure, it says moms in the title of the brand, but this program is completely applicable and for anybody.
Yeah, but I'm glad these questions are coming up. That tells us another change maybe we need to make is not necessarily to the brand, but just to make it more clear that it's open.
Yeah. What kind of space do people use to work out with 10 to 12 people? So basically, what I would do is, I mean, I don't necessarily have a square footage. Well, probably, I don't know, 500 or 600 square feet, probably. I would say, because you don't need anything besides your bodies, I would pretty much like be able to, just how do I say it? Have like an arm length distance away, maybe like 2 or 3 feet of space on either side of each person to do the workout, and you can kind of like the tighter you are, you can still do things, and maybe there's a few things you can't really do, but I'm guaranteed you're going to be laughing a lot and having a good time and moving together. And that's really what it's all about. It's kind of that bonding. A few people have told me before, and I think it's true. Like when you exercise together, it's a different bond that's created. I mean, I know you're releasing endorphins and stuff, and maybe that has something to do with it, but those friendships that are created through exercise are different than other kinds of relationships. So, even if your space really only kind of comfortably holds 6, 7, or 8 people, cram 10 or 12 or 15 people in there, and it'll still work out fine.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I would just add, we really, really want you to get together and work out as a group. But if worst case scenario, I mean, say you can't get the space one week, or I mean, don't let that stop you. Still meet, maybe, and maybe you just meet in somebody's house or in a coffee shop to have the discussion. I mean, that's kind of your fallback plan, I guess.
Right. So Jessica asked a great question. Is any type of insurance required for us as leaders for group exercise aspect of the program? No. So what we have is like what's it called? Not a waiver, but what's the word I'm trying to think of? Disclaimer. Disclaimer is what I'm trying to say. Basically, that all participants have to agree to, and they'll have to agree to it when they sign up for the 6-week challenge through our terms and service. That it's a program they're reliable, for anything that happens, and you guys, aren't at all. So, yes, you don't need that. Michelle says, thank you. You are absolutely welcome. Jennifer says, when will the replay of this webinar be available? Probably tomorrow morning. I think we're going to start uploading it right away here and try to get it out tomorrow. So if you are on my newsletter, my fitness newsletter, which hopefully every one of you are. If you're not, just go to fitmomsforlife.com, sign up there, put your name and email anywhere. There's boxes for it, and we'll send it out by tomorrow for sure. Maybe we'll get it out tonight. Aaron says, can my group from across multiple states, or is it better to refer friends in other states to local groups? Great question. So I would say right now, taking Candace's idea of doing it virtually might be a really cool thing to do. And then I just don't know the chances of there being a local group right away in every state or every community is pretty low. But we're going to hopefully get this map up where you're going to be able to see where these leaders are located, and maybe there is one in their community. If so, you can still, I would say, you still sign them up under your your link. You still get paid for it, but maybe they can go to another group. Yeah, awesome question. Andrea says, will you send DVDs each week for the 6-week program? So you're going to receive the DVDs, but you're going to receive everything in one packet. So it's going to be like a big box you're going to get. Again, we're going to try to get that out around the end of August, real early September. We'll provide some of the videos online for you earlier, so you can kind of get a head start on things. Christine says, what if you can't start on September 15th for a 6-week challenge? Can you start at your own date after the first 6 weeks? Can you sign new people up to do this 6-week again? Cool. So great questions. Yeah, I would say don't let that stop you. We're trying to kind of keep the 6 weeks going so that we have the momentum and we have everyone sort of in the same area. But if you can't start that, maybe you're a week or two behind, you have to start a week early, that's totally cool. Still sign up for it. And then after the first weeks, can you sign up new people to do the 6-week challenge again? Yes, you can sign up. You can start as many groups as you want to, and we're still figuring out the details of whether. I think we're just going to have groups ongoing, starting whenever. We're just kind of doing this first test as a group, but maybe we'll start like a January 7th one or something that was kind of trying to get a lot of groups to do it together because it's kind of fun to be on the same week and to be discussing online in the Facebook group and stuff. But yeah, so you can get maybe you're halfway through the program, maybe you're 3 weeks through it, and you got another group of 5 or 6 who are dying to start. I probably wouldn't put them in at week 3. I would just start a new group maybe right away, with those 6 people, starting on week 1. So yes, you can always be referring the program to your friends at different times. Jackie says, thank you for taking time to share. I'll be looking into it and praying about it. My 2 teen boys started school Monday, so this tired mama must go, but thank you. Jackie, we hope to see you. Are these, Sandy says, are these designed such that someone who is not currently working out can begin the program without feeling too intimidated? Absolutely. This is why we designed the program so that anybody can do it. Really, the only thing the leader needs to do is want to have a commitment to be fitter, to be healthier, and that's about it. So I used the example early on in the webinar. If it's a woman who's 400 pounds, who's never done any exercise before, she can get this program and get all of her friends who also maybe have never done anything before, all doing it together, and she can lead that group. So yeah, Sandy, that's absolutely. Marissa says, is there any chance that we sign up to be a leader and not to be able to find anyone to join our group? Will people be forwarded to us? So Marissa, I would say it kind of depends, where you're at, I guess, where you live and stuff. But yeah, absolutely. Our goal is that we're going to be able to send people to you. Now, whether that happens or not right away, it's hard to say. As that's why we want to get this momentum going as quickly as possible, because the more people we sign up, the more it's going to spread nationally and internationally. We got a lot of people that are interested in starting these groups up in different countries too. So don't be afraid if for some odd reason you don't get even one person. You're not a failure. You still can go through the program, and you'll kind of be able to find people along the way as you do it. So yeah. Sarah says, laptop, great suggestion. Yeah, you don't need to have a big TV. You can just use a laptop for this. And yeah, simple technology. What equipment will you need to be available for participants for the weekly meetings, i.e. weight sets, exercise balls, yoga mats? Yeah, so Aaron, so during the one time you meet each week, nothing. All they're going to need to bring is their journal, their participant guide, and a pen. That's it. And if you guys want to do a snack luck or something like that, bring a snack to share. But it's completely body weight and partner based exercises, mostly just body weight. Heather says, does the meal plan consist of easy to find, somewhat easy to prepare foods? Yeah, I told Tracy, she's pretty good at doing that anyways, but I told her that we need to make this really simple. I don't know, maybe Emily can speak on it a little bit more.
Yeah, sure. So, I've made a lot of the recipes, not all of them, and I would say I've found them all pretty easy to make, and certainly using easy to find foods. Many of them have sort of modifications or substitutions. She does recommend using a couple of things, but again, always that are, you might have to order, but again, you can not use them. She always gives you substitutions if you don't have that, XYZ ingredient on hand. And I will say that my kids so far have eaten most of the recipes. So that's a big,
Yeah. And we try to make it really affordable too. We
Yeah.
don't want you to have to spend a lot of money. Again, it's not a crazy diet. If you know Fit Moms for Life, you know me, I'm not really about extremes. I'm about lifestyle. And that's really what we're trying to teach you with those eating plans. Cindy asked a great question. She says, once you do one 6-week session as a leader, can you organize another group? You mentioned continuing with the original group. Any thoughts on remaining a leader? So we would love for that original group to continue, because 6 weeks you're going to get some great results, but you're just kind of tapping into the potential of that group. And then we would love for you personally, you can start another group. Yeah, absolutely. Whether it's in the, probably a different night of the week, would be ideal. And then also you're inspiring that group of people, the first participants, to then start their own groups and be a leader too. Shannon says, suggest to Joanne in Maryland a parking lot. Yeah, that's a great idea. Parking lot's all you need. Obviously Maryland in the winter time is going to be a little cold, but for the fall, that should be just fine. How do you suggest that leaders advertise the program in order to gain members to form groups? So we're going to go into this a lot more detail in the program. I mean, we can suggest a few things. Most of you have Facebook, for example. Most of you have a group of 30 to 50 people that you kind of know on a decent level. So through emails, Facebook, in-person phone calls, the old school phone, not texting, but actually calling them up. Those are big ones. If you're part of any organizations, church groups, those are places that we really encourage you to go to.
Yep, and we'll also be providing you, flyers. Diana in her community actually sent a letter to, the households in her community. That's certainly an option if you would like to do that, or you can, drop flyers at people's houses if you have a smaller community. But there are lots of ways certainly to get the word out. But as Dustin said, your best route is going to be the people you work with or know now.
Yeah,
best place to start.
Sarah asks, what's the time commitment each week for a leader? So the meeting itself is 90 minutes. I mean, it's kind of hard to say exactly from like a recruiting standpoint. How long is kind of whatever you want to make it. I can't imagine it being more than, a couple hours the first few weeks. And then probably another maybe 30 minutes a week just to kind of check up on your team and see how they're doing. That's about it. And then the workouts, we're encouraging you to do 2 to 3 times a week on your own. Those are 20 to 30-minute workouts. There's nothing over 30 minutes in this program. Nikki says, how many DVD workouts come for participants? It's the same for participants and leaders, and it's 6 workouts. Jody asked, how much do we make off each participant? Is it one time or per group? So you'll get $35 for each participant that you get to purchase the program. Now, I know some of you are going to be tempted. Maybe your friends will be like, well, can we just print them all off, online, because you're going to get access to them online, or can we just buy one and share? We've got the journal in there, and there's just a lot of things. You need to do the workouts on your own, and we've really designed it and encouraged everyone to make that $99 investment. And again, we're spending $99 in a lot of places that aren't this good or this healthy, and you're not going to get paid if people are just 5 people are sharing the same program, and they're not going to get as good of results from it too. So really encourage them to make that $99 investment so they have all the materials and resources themselves. So is it a one-time or per group? So you get, it's $35 for each participant you get. So if you start a new group and new people buy, then you get $35 for each of those as well. Hopefully that's clear. Vicky says, will there be the time frame from getting our materials? What will be the time frame from getting our materials, getting others to sign up, and then starting? So the plan right now is in about 2 weeks, you're going to have the opportunity to start signing people up. Now you can start telling people right now about it, but they can't sign up as a participant quite yet. And then we hope to send everything out again really late August or really early September to give you 1 to 2 weeks with the materials before. But you're going to get a lot of materials online before that, so you'll be able to read them and look them over. Francie says, thanks, signing up right now, signing out of the webinar for now, but I look like I'm going to be signing up, looking forward to it. Awesome. Betsy says, I have 75 pounds to lose. Our leaders required to be at a healthier weight. We've already kind of discussed that. You can be as out of shape and overweight as you wants to be starting off the program. There's absolutely no need to be a certain size. Michelle says, are the workouts easy to adjust based on level? I work out with some newbies, and I have a lot of hardcore workout friends, but I bet I could recruit them all. Yeah, so I don't know if you've done many of my other DVDs, Michelle, but we really, I think one of the best things I do is to be able to show progressions and modifications to anything. So these DVDs are going to challenge the most hardcore person if they bring, if they do heavy enough weights, so maybe they're working with 15 or 20 pound dumbbells. And we show plenty of progressions for that woman who says she's 75 pounds overweight. Maybe she hasn't done a tremendous amount of exercise or have a big background in it. She'll maybe be able to use some 8-pounders and do some of the modifications, and she'll get her great workout as well. So yes, you can really make it happen. How does the affiliate link work? If somebody decides to sign up for a different Fit Moms for Life program, buy DVDs, etc. So the affiliate link will be sent right to the page to sign up for this program. So this affiliate link is for this program specific. So you just got to make sure that they buy that program and not the other programs, which you won't get credit for. Terry says, will the participants get their things in time for September 16th start date? Yes, they will absolutely, unless they're signing up like September 14th or something, but then we'll be able to send it out right away. Jessica says, I apologize if this is a repetitive question, but the $99 is strictly for the 6 weeks. What happens after 6 weeks? Will the members be required to pay another $99 for this another 6 weeks after? No, absolutely not. So once they've bought the program, it's theirs, and you can continue your group for, for as long as you want to do it. And we're gonna have some other DVD options for you down the road a ways, different resources, or you can just kind of continue working with that 6 week challenge, just repeating it again if you want to. But no, that's a one time fee for that. Yeah. How do we sign up people in our group? So you're going to be getting an email probably in about a week with an affiliate link. So basically that means that you're going to get this link. You're going to register online to put your information in, and then you're going to get this URL that you're going to be able to send to your friends, family, to have them sign up, and that's how you get credit. I just got in the meeting. Can I do a quick summary? We've got it recorded, Iris, so you can listen to the recording. When will team members be able to sign up? Team members, the plan is approximately around the 15th of August. Sandy says, thanks. Cindy says, if you start multiple teams, do you need to pay multiple fee for the material, or once you are a leader and have materials, you can have people sign up? Yep, you only need one. There's no need for you to pay an extra fee to run another group, because you've already got all the materials that you personally need to run that group. So great question, Cindy. How long is Ada? How long do we have until the $30 discount expires? I'm asking for myself and the people who don't have the money to sign up right now. So I'll commit to having it for 2 weeks. So around to the 15th-ish. Then past then, I don't know, but probably not too much longer than that. Can kids do this program? Kimberly asked. I've got mixed feelings on it. I love having kids work out and stuff, and I think they can definitely do the workouts, especially with you at home. Now with the groups, I don't know. It could work. It definitely could work, but we're really trying to encourage you to connect with other adults and be able to have adult conversations and not have to necessarily have your kids there maybe distracting you. So I don't know if you have anything to add to that, Emily.
Yeah, I mean, I think it probably depends a bit on your kids and how old they are and stuff, but really the sort of discussion piece of this, really isn't designed for kids.
Yeah.
And we're hoping, I think the more frank a conversation, more open and sort of undistracted conversation you can have at those group meetings, the better.
Yeah. So Maggie says, I'm a soldier looking at deployment in the near future. Can I make the commitment even if I can't start a challenge group right away? Yes, absolutely. And thanks, Maggie, for serving our country. So Carolyn says, will the disclaimer also cover the facility where the group is meeting for the exercises? Yes, I think it should be universal, and we're working with our lawyers right now to make that disclaimer. Are the meals large enough to feed a family?
Yes,
Yep.
absolutely. And many of them, so we give the serving size on there. There's actually some are larger than others. So some, for example, will feed up to 12, and we work leftovers into those meals if you don't have a family that large.
Yeah, Terry says, well, we need to sign up again. I'm not sure exactly what she means about that, but probably for a second meeting.
I don't know. Maybe you don't need to sign up. You don't need to re-up as a leader if you want to run another group.
Right.
That's.
So can we promote this today on Facebook? Great question. So you can start to promote it, but again, what you can do is you can encourage other people to become a leader, and you're gonna that link right there, 6 week challenge. Anybody can do that if you think there's people that are good to be a leader. And I just posted today on the blog the story of Diana, and you can kind of share that with people, get people excited. So yes, start getting people excited, prepping them so that around the 15th of August they're going to be excited. When are weekly meetings? So you can choose when you want that weekly meeting. Maybe it's a Sunday night, maybe it's a Monday, Tuesday. It doesn't really matter. But our goal is to start them around the 16th of September that week. But it's very flexible, whatever works into your schedule and the people's schedules. Sarah says, does it make sense to have out-of-town members as well as members that you can meet with weekly? I have some relatives that would love this program that live out of town, but I have a group of friends that here I could meet with weekly. I don't think it is too complicated. You probably would want to have two groups, I would say. One's a virtual group. And remember, those people are going to, they're going to be able to be with you virtually, but then they're also going to be able to be with us as a community too online. So they're going to get kind of a double. Terry says, thanks so much, Dustin and Emily. You are welcome. Candace says, don't mean to sound like I'm the only thinking about the money, but curious, is there additional compensation if you're participants create their own groups. We thought about doing that, but then we just found that it was just going to get really complicated and get into that gray area of multi-level marketing. And this is not a multi-level marketing type of thing. And we just wanted to be careful not to be in that area. So we've just kept it simple. I know it'd be nice to be able to reward and incentivize to get those people, but there's obviously other rewards that you get besides monetary by inspiring others to become leaders. And who knows, as things grow, Emily and I can figure out ways. We'll probably have contests of how to, who recruits the most of the participants to become leaders or something. And we'll figure some fun things out, Candace. But that's not part of the current program. So someone else wants a recap. We've got this recording, so we will send out the recording, Ivy, in a little bit. That was the end of the questions. Anybody else? I'll give you guys another minute if you have any more questions. But yeah, it's maybe yeah.
Make sure we got.
Let's see if there's anything else there. And of course, if you have other questions come up, let us know, email us, and we'll be here. And then over the next couple of weeks, we're going to start calling you as we give you some more information, so you have some stuff to go off of, and we can kind of see how you are doing. So, I think we're good.
A copy of this PowerPoint email to us.
Okay, so will we be getting a copy of this PowerPoint email to us? You'll be getting the video of it, so you can kind of skip through and see the PowerPoints. Maybe, yeah, we'll just probably stick with that for now as the video. And lastly, as we finish up here, if you guys do have one more question, you can feel free to ask it now. Got a lot of people saying thank you and good night. You're absolutely welcome. It's our pleasure and our honor to do this, and thank you for spending an hour and 30 minutes of your time now doing this. And we mentioned this at the beginning. This is grassroots style, meaning this is not Microsoft Corporation or Apple. This is, we don't really have any red tape or things like that. So if you have suggestions, ideas, things we can make better, this is what we want to hear it. If you have places to advertise or to recruit from, or if you have connections to people that we need to know about, please feel free to ask. And we're gonna make this recording available, probably early tomorrow morning, and you will get you'll be able to share it with anybody you want to. So if someone says, I didn't enter my ID, will I still get the recording? Just go to fitmomsforlife.com and enter your name and email on any of the forms there, and that'll get you signed up for my newsletter list, which I'll then send it out through that newsletter. Very good program, Cindy says. Thanks for all the information, Lana. I hope I pronounced that right, not Lena. Lana, probably. And very excited, and that is it. Jessica says thank you very much. I'll be getting signed up as a leader in southeastern Massachusetts. Wonderful. I am going to New York City this coming week, so let me know if you want to stop in New York City and say hi. I'd love to meet you, Jessica. Anything else, Emily? I'll give you the last word.
The last word. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Really excited to work with you all, and I just, like I said, I can't wait to start changing the world one community at a time. Really happy to have you join us.
Yep. All right. Have an amazing rest of the night, and I can't wait to start working with you. And thank you in advance for spreading the word to other potential leaders that couldn't be on the call, and then getting participants excited for when we do launch it to them. So take care and have a great night.